Sanford Hummel, born in Munson, Pennsylvania.
Wonderful. Do you have any nicknames?
Stan.
And
Yes.
when you were growing up, did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
And what were their names?
Audrey, Shirley, Richard, Daniel, and Chester.
And when you were younger, where did you live? Like, did you live on a farm or?
I lived on actually on the corner of my grandfather's farm. My father built a home on the farm.
And
My grandfather was a farmer, and when I was young, he was still farming.
did you have any interesting stories from being on the farm?
Oh, I know it was in July, helping to make hay was awful hot. That's about all I can remember, how hot and miserable it was. The rest of the time on the farm was okay. There was that hard work in the summertime.
And did all the kids have to help it and chip in?
Well, yeah, they when they got up 9, 10 years old, they helped.
And you went to school.
I went to 8th grade, and after 8th grade, I got my working papers and started working in the timber, cutting timber. I was 14, and then I went to work in the coal strippings till I was 17, and then I joined the Air Force.
Wow.
And 1949, I joined the Air Force, and I got a GED from New Mexico School Board school system, and then I went to Penn State for 3 years.
What was it like working in the coal mine and cutting timber?
Timber was I liked working in the woods cutting timber. It was hard work, didn't pay much money. You made about, if you worked all week, you made about, maybe $20. If you were lucky to make $5 a day. But I enjoyed working in the timber. Now, when I went into the coal strippings, nobody likes that. Dust, cold dirt, it's not a good job. But they're still doing it.
Is that what led you to go to the Air Force?
Uh-huh. That was it. That was it.
And when you went to college, you said you went to Penn State. Did you have a subject that you studied?
Law enforcement. Yeah. And I worked at Penn State after I got out of the Air Force for 10 years. I was a police dispatcher for 8 years. Then I went in the housing department for a couple of years.
What was your job in the Air Force?
In the Air Force, air operations and passenger service. We, just like if you're checking into an airport, we handled manifests and flight plans and all that.
So, do you remember anybody special that influenced your career or, your choices that you made?
Oh, no, not really.
So the next section we're going to talk about is a little bit more about.
Crazy telephone. Hello? Hey, how about I call you back I'm right into the middle of something. Okay? Okay. That was my buddy.
So we would love to learn a little more about what you did in the service, like what you did and
Where it took you.
Well, once I was promoted to sergeant, then I was a air operations supervisor, and I was responsible for the flight records, the aircraft flight records, the pilot's flight records, uh, the, the safety bulletins, the all the classified material, and it was just a working operation.
And where did it take you? Like what places did you travel to?
Okay, well, I spent 1951, 52 in Korea, and then I went from there. I went to Texas, and then I spent 3 years in Newfoundland. I spent 3.5 years in NATO in France. NATO, I worked in the command post there, the NATO command post. Of course, they were in charge of all the war games.
So what was one or two of your favorite places you've been to?
Well, I suppose I was stationed in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I liked that that was nice. And I was in Roswell, New Mexico, and I liked it there also. I think New Mexico is probably my preference to any place I was stationed. Now, Newfoundland, the people in Newfoundland they're really nice, good people, nice people. So I even extended up there for 6 months. And Newfoundland is up in the North Atlantic.
Yep.
So lots of snow.
So along your travels, did you get married?
A couple of times. Couple times.
Okay. And did you have children?
I have one daughter. She lives in Huntersville, and that's it. And a granddaughter and a grandson. The granddaughter's 24. The grandson's 15 and thinks he's 30 or something like that.
And what do they mean to you?
Pardon?
What do they mean to you? Like at your family, like are you glad they're close? Like do you get to see them and?
Well, that's all I have. That's my life. You know. It's hard enough living by yourself. You get pretty lonesome. But when you have family that comes around, like yesterday, we went to lunch, my daughter, my granddaughter, and I. And it means a lot. Family.
Does your grandson get to come up? Does he work with you on the planes at all?
My grandson, I don't know what he's interested in. He likes to hunt, he likes to fish. No, he don't like this. Not interested. He's a good fisherman. He's got some nice fish. But, and hunting, he likes to hunt. But he's not interested in airplanes.
How long have you had the hobby of the airplane?
Pardon?
How long have you been building
Well,
airplanes?
back in the 40s when they had solid models, I built some, and I built a few in the Air Force, but then I got into radio control about 1980, about 82 I think it was. I built the first radio control, and I've been at that ever since. It keeps me from going berserk.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, it keeps your mind working.
Do you have any interesting stories you could share with us about either your career or your hobby? Like, we love to hear stories, like things that you might recall that were,
Well, I don't know.
Do you have any positive memories from Korea or?
Well, the memories I have from Korea are didn't smell very well over there. Bob Hope was there putting on a show, and of course it was staged, but he said, "What's that I smell?" And the colonel in the back row said, "That's shit, Bob." He said, "Yeah, I know, but what'd they do to it?" That Bob Hope was something else.
Where were you stationed in Korea?
K-14, Gimpo. It's north of Seoul, about 16 miles. Our squadron was photo recon.
Okay.
Yeah, they took all the pictures of the.
North Korea.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was the next question is, any interesting stories with regard to North Korea? Because obviously now, North Korea's been in the news.
The only, I drove quite a bit over there, drove truck. The only interesting thing is I come back one morning, I forget now where I'd gone, but there was a bullet hole in the windshield. I remember that.
Yeah, yeah, you remember those kinds of things.
And they right about here.
That's cool.
I had a picture of it, but I don't know whatever happened
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, that was interesting. And then one other time I was out, and I was doing about, I suppose, I was driving a truck, and I suppose I was doing 40 miles an hour, and here the North Koreans had dug a ditch about that wide across the road,
So,
and I was going fast enough that I
left them.
jumped
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
If I'd been going any slower when the front wheels went in,
Right.
I'd been it. Yeah.
Wow. So when you were in Roswell, did you work with Area 51 at all?
With what?
Area 51?
Well, when we used when I was at station TDY up to Nevada, we used Area 51 back then as a landing strip to bring the atomic bombs in.
Right, right.
And then back in the 50s when I was there wasn't anything there hardly.
Ah.
Just a couple of buildings.
Right.
But I never seen it after they built it up and started doing secret work.
Right, right. Well, that's the issue with Area 51 is it was all dark,
Oh yeah,
black. Yeah.
yeah.
So Stan, what accomplishment are you most proud of?
What's that?
What accomplishment are you most proud of?
Oh,
Or maybe a couple of them. Like, what are you most proud of?
the one I'm most proud of is keeping my senses. I'm 86, and I still memories pretty well, pretty good.
Is there anything you've done to, like, share with us that we can, practice?
Keep busy, keep your mind working. My mother had Alzheimer's, and I have a sister that has it also. She's 18 months younger than I am, and I was afraid, but so far it's okay.
You have all your hobbies.
Yeah.
So we also like to ask, like, what's your greatest hope for humanity or for your family, or just what do you hope for every day?
Well, that things keep going as they are, and hope we never get back into another war. That's the biggest concern, because if they ever start atomic war, I want to be dead center. It's ground zero.
Yeah.
And just that everybody has a good life, You know, I hate this fighting and even among the. I wish the politicians would get something straight. Democrats would finally realize they lost and they need to get prepared for the next election. Because they're going to lose it too if they don't do something.
What's your greatest advice for the younger generation, for your grandkids or for us? Like, you know, what's your greatest advice?
Just treat your neighbor like you'd like to be treated, and you know, just live a good. You don't have to go to church every day or anything like that, but just a good, normal, clean life.
That's great advice. Great advice for everybody. Here at Williams Place, like, is there anything special that you like to do every day?
Yeah, work on my hobby and work on models. I like to put a few hours a day in,
Oh, that's wonderful.
or a few hours at night. I don't sleep well. In fact, I was out here at 3 o'clock this morning.
See, Jerry, come down here when you can't sleep. It helps that. Yeah, that's wonderful. Was there any other stories or things you want to add to the video? We just like to.
I was wondering if you ever flew a plane. Did you get an opportunity to fly?
Yeah, in fact, I quit building. When was it? 1994. I built an ultralight, which is which was a high wing Cub wannabe, and I soloed in it.
Wow.
I took lessons down in Florida, and I soloed in the plane that I built.
That's badass.
And I flew ultralights for, from 94 to probably 5 years ago.
Any scary encounters up in the air? It's like something
No, the only thing I've ever bothered me, I took off one time and flew into a cloud bank and couldn't see in any direction.
Oh my
And you know what that is?
Yeah.
That's a death spiral.
god. Yeah.
But I was only in it for about a minute.
Oh my god.
It scared me.
I
You know, everything goes, you can't see nothing.
bet. Might run into a tree, a mountain.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You know, the thing is, you don't know how, when you get into a position like that, you don't know whether you're upside down, straight up, or what. So that's the reason a lot of them, without instrument training, they go into a cloud, and the next thing they come out is like this and
Right. Yep.
into the ground, the dust spiral.
Yeah.
Yep. But that's the only time I was ever shook up in an ultralight. And they're just as safe as you make them.